It's really a pleasure being here tonight and reading in this Lannan series. As Cole mentioned, my first book was picked by Lucille Clifton for the National Poetry Series, and one of the first readings from the book was actually at the Lannan when it was in Los Angeles. So, gosh, that was 1993, maybe? Maybe 94. And so it's a real pleasure to be here. The Lannan's been involved in my work and in my ability to work for a very long time. I also want to thank Cole more formally because the Gray album, in fact, is dedicated to him. I guess all those nights in various bars stuck with me. And I called him in the dedication my brother, and someone came up to me recently and said, "Oh, I didn't know you and Colson Whitehead were brothers." I think they meant literally, so much for metaphor, I guess. Also, lastly, I wanted to mention that the Gray album, which I'm going to read from first, wouldn't have been finished without the Lannan residency in Marfa that I had last May, May of 2011. I don't know when I thought I could finish a 450-page book. Without something like that, I wouldn't have been able to. I really sat in this wonderful house they give for you and lay out pages and went through printer ink at a rate that they weren't expecting, and really, it's true. And so I really have to give my deep thanks to them for that. Like I said, I thought I'd start with the Gray album, which is a book really about music, writing, and lying. In it, I trace a hidden tradition of hiding, and also a tradition of hiding in African American culture. I see fiction in the book as a form of freedom, what I call the black art of escape. And I trace that lying or code from the spirituals to the codings of hip-hop. There was no one happier than me when Jay-Z's book about hip-hop came out and was called Decoded. I was like, well, excellent. Nice period to what I was thinking. But it's really a book in many ways about loss and about coming to writing in many different ways. I thought I'd read just two short little sections. It begins with a kind of long riff. The whole book isn't like that, but it starts with what I call an overture. In it, I riff off things that some made it into the book, some only make it into this part of the book. And it was really a way of thinking about, I guess, channeling some of those late night conversations and those sort of jam sessions that inspired it. So this is, I won't read all of it, but I'll read some of this overture. Langston Hughes's autobiography. Novels by slaves that aren't really but barely masked autobiography. The bondwoman's narrative, masks and modernity, jungle music, the primitivism of Picasso and the Picasso-esque qualities of primitivism. Zora Neale Hurston pretending she's a bootlegger to record bootleg, the lies of her neighbors, the blues singer, the numbers writer, the root worker, and the conjure woman. No.
Well, it's good to see you, man.
Likewise.
Yeah,
we have to
reading.
go to Santa Fe to...
I think our last collaboration was last spring on a roasted pig that we did in your backyard.
That's right.
For Easter. That turned out well. Perhaps this will...
Oh, to pork.
It can't be as good as that, but this will... that tonight will be okay. So, I was putting your introduction together, and it does seem like a lot of stuff came together in the last 2 years. Like looking back over everything you've done for the last 23 years. Of course you would do a collected of Lucille Clifton. She put you up for the prize when you were, how old were you?
She picked my book in 1993.
It's like a year or two after college.
I think I was 22.
Yeah, and then when I first met you, you were already on the road to laying the foundation for stuff that's come to fruition this year. I mean, you were mentioning writing Amistad poems in college. I never heard of the mutiny. I was like pretending to not understand what you were talking about because I was ignorant. And then you had on the back burner for
Yeah.
22 years.
Well, I hadn't heard of it either. I mean, I think that's why I was drawn to it, because I remember reading in a book called Slave Testimony, which just recounts what it says, these letters from the Amistad, and they're sometimes referred to as that, the captives, if you will, and they were from jail in New Haven, Connecticut, mostly, writing to the president, let us out, writing in this new language, this new world, and having been captured and brought to this new world and taught then English by the abolitionists who were trying to free them, was really just a powerful. I was like, what are these crazy letters that seemed just to do this amazing dance that I think also the spirituals do between a coded sense of freedom and asking for freedom. I mean, here they are in jail; they can't come out and say, "Let us go," but they have to sort of talk in the language that they're being taught. And that seems like a really powerful metaphor for me for understanding not just poetry, but African American music and culture, and an entry for me. And also there just were wonderful letters with these great slippages and plays, really.